Hey everyone, kumusta? Welcome back to my channel. So for those who are new here, hello and welcome. I'm Lani, a lawyer, entrepreneur, and mom of two living in the UK. I'm a second generation Filipina, born in the UK to Filipino parents, and this is my judgment-free channel for Filipinos living and working outside the Philippines who want to learn, share, and discuss important things such as money, finances, pension plans, businesses, investments, personal development, and anything that matters to you and our community. So today I wanted to talk about something that's been a huge part of my life in the last 8 years, and that's being an entrepreneur and what it really means to be on this journey. You see, people often think entrepreneurship is just about making money, starting a business, or being your own boss. But for me, it's been so much more than that. Entrepreneurship has been a spiritual journey. It's taught me things I never expected to learn about resilience, perseverance, failure, success, and most of all, about myself. Because when you decide to start something from scratch, when there's no blueprint, no one to tell you exactly what to do, you start discovering who you really are. One thing that I've learned is that being an entrepreneur means being a student for life. You can't just rely on what you already know. You have to be curious, constantly learning, testing, experimenting. That's why I love listening to people like Emma Grede, Stephen Bartlett, Dave Ramsey, Ramit Sethi, Russell Brunson, and Tony Robbins, to name a few. Each of them has a different style, a different message, but they all remind me of one thing: growth never stops. Emma Grede inspires me with her story, how she built businesses like Good American and Skims by staying authentic and strategic. Stephen Bartlett reminds me to stay curious and humble, to keep asking questions even when I think I know the answer. And Dave Ramsey and Ramit Sethi, they've completely changed how I think about money. That financial control gives you freedom, but also responsibility. And Russell Brunson and Tony Robbins, they've taught me that success starts with mindset, that everything external begins with something internal. And that's why I'm constantly reading, listening, and learning, not just about business, but also about myself. Because the truth is, entrepreneurship forces you to grow, whether you're ready or not. You might be wondering what I mean when I say that entrepreneurship is a spiritual journey. For me, it means that every challenge, every failure, and every victory teaches me something deeper about myself. When things go wrong, and they will, you learn resilience. You learn how to keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it. When your plans don't work out, you learn humility. You realize that success isn't guaranteed, it's earned, step by step. When you succeed, you learn gratitude. You start to see how every small decision, every risk, every late night adds up. And through it all, you discover what truly matters to you, not what society says should matter, but what you value most. Entrepreneurship peels back all the layers, the ego, the fear, the self-doubt, until you see the real you. You learn what drives you, what drains you, and what fulfills you. You start asking bigger questions like, what's my purpose? Who do I want to become? How do I want to contribute to the world? That's why I say entrepreneurship isn't just a career path. It's a mirror. It reflects who you really are. And that's why so many successful entrepreneurs talk about mindset, energy, and alignment. Because business isn't separate from your personal and spiritual growth. It's all connected. Let's be real. This journey isn't easy. There are days when you question yourself, days when nothing seems to work, days when you look around and wonder if you're even on the right path. But those are the moments that shape you, because entrepreneurship teaches you how to keep going even when you're scared. It teaches you that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every mistake is feedback. Every rejection is redirection. Every hard day builds resilience. And resilience is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. That's something Tony Robbins talks about a lot. The idea that it's not just your resources, it's your resourcefulness that determines your success. You might not have all the answers, or all the money, or all the time, but if you have the mindset to figure it out, you'll always find a way. I want to encourage you, whether you're just starting your entrepreneurial journey or you've been working at it for a while, never stop learning. Learn about marketing, finance, communication, sales, consumer and human behavior, leadership, and personal development. But also learn about yourself, because self-awareness is your biggest advantage. The more you understand your strengths, your triggers, your passions, the easier it becomes to make the right decisions. And here's the thing. Learning doesn't just happen in books or courses. It happens in conversations, in mistakes, in quiet moments of reflection. It happens when you take action, fail, and try again. So, stay curious. Invest in your growth. Don't be afraid to start small. Every expert was once a beginner. And remember, as Warren Buffett said, the more you learn, the more you earn. And I would also add, the more confident you become. At the end of the day, entrepreneurship is not just about business. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about learning how to lead, how to serve, how to adapt, and how to trust yourself, even when the future feels uncertain. So wherever you are in your journey, keep learning, keep growing, keep going. Because every book you read, every podcast you listen to, every challenge you overcome, it's all shaping you into the person you're meant to be. And one day, you look back and realize this wasn't just a business journey, it was a spiritual one. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's one lesson entrepreneurship has taught you about yourself? See you in the next video.